Tell us about that due diligence process they do. I mean, you got to prove your income, I assume, send them some tax returns or something, and you got to send them some doctor note signing off that you're actually disabled. Is that pretty much it?
Correct. So the claims process is one that of verification, right? So you're contacting me saying, Bob, I have a policy with you. I've suffered such and such injury or illness, and I'm unable to work, and I would like to file a claim. And that's where we personally get involved and get a hold of the insurance company and get the claim paperwork, and we pass it on to the insured. We do assist insureds with filling out the claim paperwork, but a lot of it is very individualized to that particular claimant and their situation. So once they go through that claims process, we try to take their claim to management just so that they're in good hands and they're treated fairly. Now, once that claim goes into a claim examiner's hands, what they do is they verify, first off, they verify the medical records. They obtain the records from the primary care or the specialist and understand exactly what is going on. They do look at CPT billing codes. They do look at your duties, and they look at a variety of factors, but not with the intent of trying to get out of the claim, but with the intent of establishing an own occupation, right? So what are you practicing a majority of? And what is the disabling condition that prevents you from doing that? And what else can you do besides your own specialty? Because you do in fact have a own occupation policy that allows you to practice other forms of medicine, teaching, research, even if you're disabled, let's say as a surgeon. So it's a normal due diligence process. It's not that complicated that you need to go hire an attorney. I frankly believe that an attorney should only get involved when an insurance company tells you categorically that for whatever reason they're not going to pay your claim. It is only at that point, because I had an instance where a physician's claim was delayed through his own fault. I mean, they had asked him for documentation, which he didn't provide for 6 months. And then he called me and said, Bob, I'm thinking of suing the insurance company. And I dug into it a bit deeper, and it turns out that he hadn't supplied all the documentation, the income documentation that was needed, because he had transitioned from an academic position to a private practice. But once all of that was submitted, his claim did get paid. And he called me and told me, he goes, Bob, right after I spoke with you, I spoke with a attorney, and the attorney told me, he goes, he was salivating at the thought of, fighting this claim on behalf of the claimant, because he would have taken a percentage of the recovery. Now, this was a permanent claim, and the value of that claim was almost $16 million. Now, to give up a third of that $16 million to the attorney, you'd better be sure that you need this individual and his legal expertise before you go signing a piece of paper where you're willing to sign away a third of your claim value, on a maybe. I'd rather see a outright decline before I approach an attorney.
The hosts of the YQA Investor Podcast are not licensed accountants, attorneys, or financial advisors. This podcast is free entertainment and information only. It should not be considered professional or personalized financial advice. You should consult the appropriate professional for specific advice relating to your situation.